family-owned shop in Loganville, Soesby's Garage for all your automotive repair needs. We service all makes and models, foreign and domestic. We repair engines, alternators, brakes, alignments, AC systems, and more, using certified technicians with over 90 years of combined experience. We also offer same-day service for some repairs. Soesby's Garage, 200 Bay Creek Road in Loganville. Dependable, honest, and fair. Look us up on Google or Facebook. We'll take good care of you.
Broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio inside the Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. It's time for Case in Point, presented by Paradigm Security Services. We are the cornerstone of security in the Southeast.
Welcome, everybody, to Case in Point, presented by Paradigm Security Services. I'm your host, Rick Strawn, the president of Paradigm Security Services, and we are excited to be with you today on Business RadioX. We're coming to you live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio, located in the beautiful Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel in Duluth, Georgia. Each week, we, as you know, go through and feature businesses and people in the Atlanta area, especially those that serve here in Gwinnett County. Well, all businesses have security concerns. Not all are about physical security, and we'll touch on that and related aspects of security through the course of each show. My guest today, I am so happy to have back on, Mr. Melvin Everson, and I know many of you know him. He is the Vice President of Economic Development over here at Gwinnett Technical College, one of our fine colleges and universities here in our beautiful county of Gwinnett. And just want to kind of, go over Melvin. I'll let you introduce yourself, although most people know you, but give me a brief introduction to yourself, because a couple of topics I want to talk about.
Okay, Melvin Everson. Thank you, Rick, for having me here. Melvin Everson, once again, Vice President of Economic Development at Gwinnett Technical College, located right here in the city of Lawrenceville off of Sugarloaf Parkway, 5150 Sugarloaf Parkway, Lawrenceville, Georgia. And I've been with the college now since 2017 after I transitioned out of the governor's office, having been appointed twice by Governor Deal, one with workforce development for the entire state of Georgia, and second appointment was Executive Director of Georgia Commission on Equal Opportunity, and transitioned to Gwinnett Tech in April of 2017 and assumed the role of Business and Industry Training Director, after which my boss retired at that time, and then I was elevated up to my current position of Vice President of Economic Development at Gwinnett Tech, which I thoroughly enjoy.
Well, I know you do, because it's the people business.
Yes.
And you're all about people.
Yes.
And you can watch you on Facebook and all of that, and then you're like the Energizer Bunny when it comes to people. I remember there at one time I could look at you, and 1 minute you're in Savannah, the next that afternoon you're in North Georgia, and
right.
Then you're down in Valdosta. I mean, you're just, I don't know how you get the transporter going, because I know Spock's got to be helping you out.
I tell you what, I'm proud to say there are 159 counties in Georgia. I've been in every county in Georgia.
I have
multiple
no doubt.
times, and
a day.
Yeah, sometimes twice a day in a lot of the counties. I'm originally from Wilcox County, out from Cordell, Abbeville, Rochelle. I was born there in South Georgia. Yeah, we still have our farm down there, and I frequent that farm quite often. And I'll be going back down there in a couple of weeks as the harvest season for the fruits and vegetables.
You bringing back watermelons and cantaloupe?
Oh yeah.
I'll take one.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, there's so much going on. Where do you start? Let's start off with just a brief clip on, I guess the best thing to do would be to talk about the election, just briefly, and surprises and so forth that are coming off. I don't know if you can really. You're in a position where you're kind of like me. You got to be neutral.
Yes, I'm neutral.
But it's amazing to me to watch all that's going on in politics right now. And I guess the best way to look at it would be, this thing that happened in Minnesota, a travesty.
Oh.
Just bottom line. You're doing something that is kind of working off of that. It's kind of spinning off with a new initiative that I find very interesting looking at. And I know that you're not the one that's starting it up, but you're on this commission. I guess it's a commission to look at the race relations. Is that the way that it's working?
Yeah, it was. I was asked by Alvin Hicks, who attends Gwinnett Church. And matter of fact, I received a text from him this morning. He wants me to continue to be a part of that. And it's an initiative that he started to bring all sides together to sit down and calmly discuss what's going on and advocate for reforms that will prevent this from happening again, because it's been happening far too often till it has consumed the nation. And with the situation in Minneapolis and the situation in Brunswick, that has pushed it to the forefront of everyone now, and everyone is talking about it. And I just think it's time for everyone to just
take a breath,
come to the table and sit down, calm our heads, and just say, what can we do to impact this so it will not continue to occur? Because people are being hurt. People are being hurt, and people are being killed, and people are speaking out now in regards to that. And as far as my role at Gwinnett Tech, as far as we have a very diverse population group there, students there. We have students from every continent on the planet. So we have to make sure that we project the image and give the image that is welcoming environment, and we have no problems at Gwinnett Tech. As far as my role as far as economic development, I have to touch bases with businesses in Gwinnett as well as North Fulton. So when demand comes for workforce, we have to make sure that workforce is trained, educated, and ready to take on the jobs that are coming on board. Because when we come out of this pandemic, and we're going to come out of this pandemic,
absolutely,
there'll be a shift, a paradigm shift as far as employment and how these individuals are going to be employed. It's going to require a new set of skills, and Gwinnett Tech is on the ground to help these businesses get back on their feet so they can become productive and survive and offer those job opportunities for these employees that they're going to be looking to hire. Right now we are focusing on Amazon, which is up in South Gwinnett area. They contacted us 2 weeks ago for us to find some space down in the South Gwinnett area for them to start their initial hiring process, because that fulfillment center is going to hire up to 1,000 people.
Wow.
And they are looking for space down in the South Gwinnett area. And I touched base with the principal at South Gwinnett High School, and she said she could accommodate them. And Partnership Gwinnett Vice President of Leadership, Adam Forehand, spoke to him yesterday, and he's connecting those two, Amazon and Dorothy Jeanette at principal at South Gwinnett High School, to lay out the groundwork how they're going to do that. And that's going to provide great opportunities for employment for citizens in Gwinnett County in general, because that's going to be a huge economic boost. Because I was by that facility, because I don't live that far from that facility, and I was by there one day last week. It's massive.
Oh, yeah.
That place is massive, and I said, whoa.
I used to think Mitsubishi was big. You could just stick a few of them in there.
Yeah, that place is huge, and I said, oh, man. And the workforce is going to be required to have technical skill, because they're going to be using mechatronics, robots, machine, electrical, and you have to have that skill set in order to be employed there in that area for Amazon. And that's one of the areas Gwinnett Tech has launched into advanced manufacturing, automated manufacturing, starting that program at Gwinnett Tech.
Doing a lot of robotics there.
Robotics at Gwinnett Tech, and Dr. Cannon decided to move in that direction because the demand is there now.
Absolutely. As
far as advanced manufacturing, and you're going to see more and more of that coming online as far as Gwinnett, as well as North Fulton with the IT industry as well.
Well, I know I've seen Amazon up here at the Sonesta a while back for several weeks. They were doing some hiring here. So evidently, though, their need for hiring has gotten into an even bigger space.
Oh, yes.
So that, and with all the stuff that's one of the great things about Gwinnett Tech, and you and I have talked about it before, is the paradigm shift. And I love that word, paradigm, like in paradigm security. But that paradigm shift that is coming with that, and has been it's been in process for a long time. Where you've got so many of these kids that, for years, we pushed the 4 years. You got to have 4 years. You got to get 4 years. You got to get a master's. You got to get a doctorate.
Exactly.
And there were so many kids that just had no interest in that. And when you have no interest, you have a problem getting grades because you're not interested when they could when they could ace stuff with their hands in the technical area.
Yes.
And with Gwinnett Tech and going into robotics, and all these kids love robots.
Yes.
I mean, from the time they're little. And all the hell I do, the teaching, the way that Gwinnett Tech is chosen to go, is to get these kids up and job ready, because it's coming. I mean, it's here.
It's coming. It is coming.
So
and I'm glad you mentioned that, because I tell you, when the light went off with me, I was asked to do a commencement address for Southeast Technical College down in Thomasville. And I went in the night before the graduation. That following morning, they asked me to come in to speak to a GED class that evening. I stereotyped the class before I walked in the classroom, not by race or ethnicity or anything like that, but by age. I was expecting to see a lot more elderly people in the classroom. To my surprise, when I walked in the classroom, there were about 31 students in there. 70% of them were under the age of 30.
Wow.
The instructor looked at me and said, "Mr. Everson, I see that inquisitive look on your face. Let me share." And she said, a small percentage of these students had issues at home that prevented them from graduating high school. Her next statement is what got me. She said, but the vast majority of them, they didn't see any relevance to the rigor in the classroom. I said, whoa. I said, are you saying by the time they hit those transformational years, 8th and 9th grade, they knew they weren't going to Georgia Tech, they knew they were not going to Morehouse, Clark, Albany State, Georgia, Columbus State, or any four-year institution, but they didn't see any other options, so they become bored, burn out, and they drop out. She said, you got it.
Amazing, isn't it?
And I said, that's what we need to do. We have to expose them to options out there, so when they graduate from high school, there's two things I'm interested in. They're either going to be college or career ready. We will prepare them to go to a four-year institution if they want to go, but if they want to go directly into the workforce, we need to prepare them by exposing them to other options out there. You may want to start off at a 2-year college, that's with dual enrollment.
Learn your trade.
Learn a trade, and then go directly into the workforce, and from there, that workforce opportunity will prepare you to continue your education, or if you want to go on from a 2-year to a 4-year, Gwinnett Tech has articulation agreements where they can transfer to Georgia Gwinnett College, Georgia Tech, Kennesaw State, University of Georgia. It's there. And they signed, Dr. Cannon signed one articulation agreement with Georgia State for our healthcare students to transfer there to continue their education there. So it's a win-win for everybody. But I speak a lot around the state, and especially here in Gwinnett and North Fulton. I want to encourage the young people to take a look at all your options, because what we used to do back in the 70s, 60s, and 19, it's not working anymore.
Yep.
We have to expose you to everything.
Yeah, everybody wanted and insisted, and that's what all the parents pushed for, was that 4 years of college.
Yeah, and it's going to take both of them now, because the technical degrees, it's well, a lot of the jobs that are coming online now, technical degrees, it's huge. And Gwinnett Tech was one of the 2 technical colleges identified by Governor not Governor Kemp, to offer AWS Cloud Academy courses. And we launched the first pilot course of that, and we're going to open that up in August of this year for businesses to come take that course online through Gwinnett Tech. Gwinnett Tech was one college, and Columbus Technical College was the other one. Only two in the state, and Gwinnett Tech is one of those. And it's huge.
I know that that's one of the things that amazes me about Maxwell, is I see more and more and more push to that type of a school where they have so many of the technical stuff going on within the high school, so that they can, like you say, get these kids job ready.
Right.
To where they're basically they can either go in at a apprentice, or some of them can even go in and start as journeyman and stuff. But where they can go into these positions,
yes,
like skill positions like plumbing or welding. Excuse me. Or they can go into that 2-year college and fine tune what they want to do.
Exactly.
And not go out of here just flat broke and up to their ears or over their head in debt.
Exactly.
And that's one of the things that the 4-year college will get you, is over your head in debt.
Yeah. Mercedes-Benz, you're probably aware, they came to Gwinnett Tech and asked Gwinnett Tech to create an automotive technician lab and pump thousands of dollars in there. And Gwinnett Tech did, and it's the only one. It was the only one of its kind. It was because Mercedes-Benz normally train their own technicians.
Yep.
And they came to Gwinnett Tech and paid for us to design and create and put that technician lab on campus there. And 2019, we had our first graduates of that class. There was 18 of them.
Most of them went straight into work for Mercedes, didn't they?
Yes, making a good salary. A 2-year program, making a good salary.
See, that's what these kids need. They need a way to have their families, support their families, put food on the table, but do stuff they enjoy doing. You know, what's the old saying? Find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
And that's what they need.
So that's my role there at the college, and as VP of Economic Development, I have several areas under my responsibility. I have ESL, English as a second language. I have continuing education. Say, for instance, you have employees that would like to continue their education online. We offer several courses. And I also have career services, where you as a business, if you have positions that are open, you can contact us through our career service center there, and we can place those positions and job descriptions on the board free of charge to you. You can advertise, and that announcement goes out to our student population, throughout our student population, as well as the Alumni Association. And we do a lot of that. In addition to economic development, workforce development, tapping into the resources at Partnership Gwinnett and the Chamber, whenever business decides to come relocate to Atlanta area as far as Gwinnett or North Fulton, we sit down and we look at what they're bringing and see what workforce they need, and we will provide their workforce for them. And so we're able to do that as well.
Well, you know, you have those areas of responsibility. What are some of the new programs that are coming up at GTC, besides just the one that you talked about with Mercedes that's online and the robotics? What are some of the
right now, those are the only robotics, automated manufacturing, advanced manufacturing, what's called. That one's coming online. And the AWS Cloud Academy, that one will be coming online in August. The web service, Amazon Web Services, which is big now as far as companies looking to the cloud to store their data in the files versus putting it in a rack. And I'm currently in the pilot class of that now. It's a 6-week course, and we meet Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's very intense. Even at my age, I said I want to learn as much as I can about it because I'm going to be dealing with this. So those are some of the things that are coming online. Yeah,
that's fantastic. How much opportunity is there for off-campus online? If someone wants to go in and do a lot, are they primarily have to come on campus to do a lot of it, or can they do most of it online, off campus?
Well, it depends on what you want to. We do a lot of online classes through
certificate type stuff.
Yes, continuing education, and then some on campus where you have to come on campus to do the labs. You have to come on campus.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But the others, you can do it online. Like when the shutdown took place, as far as March 13th, we had to convert everything to online learning. And the IT department at Gwinnett Tech, Gayla Martin, who's vice president of IT and facilities there, they did a masterful job as far as getting the teachers and everyone and the students ready to assume online training, and little or no hiccups with that, and it's been very successful.
You know, so saying that God knows what he's doing.
Yes.
And there's always something, that silver lining. There's something good that comes out of almost everything
Right.
bad. And one of the things that I see that's good that's come out of this COVID thing is, well, the bad thing is they put everybody in their house and said, you got to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
But the good thing is it motivated and the schools and some of the businesses and everything, especially the schools, to be able to start doing stuff more online.
Yes.
And, you know, there was always the desire for that to happen. There was always people wanting to do it, like me. But there just wasn't that big an offering for the online. You had to go and you had to sit in class, which I don't have time as a business person to sit in class. I just don't. And, you know, now with all the motivation that's done there and kind of a kickstart, they developed so much that now they can actually you can actually have the whole thing, with the exception of the labs. And I think with the Zoom and everything, you can probably do the labs now.
Yes.
Online. So there's always that backup, and I think we're going to see more and more move forward to the off-campus and online stuff. But the campus is a great atmosphere. You got to have that.
You got to have the campus. I don't see the campus going away.
No.
But once again, there was a paradigm shift.
Yep.
With the pandemic. There was a paradigm shift, and it has brought a new focus on how do we continue to educate on the situation such as we're under now. And you're exactly correct as far as online learning. And I know my department, Economic Development, we were able to conduct outreach to businesses as far as reaching out to them to let them know that we're there, and whatever they need, we'll do our best to accommodate them with the resources that we have. And we use the WebEx platform as far as reaching, holding meetings. And I did meetings with my staff through WebEx, so they could continue to be updated on what was going on. So it was a paradigm shift which brought about new opportunities for us to continue to focus on our mission and to provide the services to the businesses and industries in Gwinnett and North Fulton.
And I'm sure a lot of learning opportunities for you.
Oh, yes, a lot of learning opportunities, yes.
I'm still trying to get used to this go to meeting thing. I'm a face-to-face person. And gosh, it's a trip.
The biggest issue was how to learn to mute and unmute. So
gosh. Yeah, you don't want to be sitting there and lean over here and just kind of whispering. It's thing. I mean, those mics are great. They pick up everything.
And so my staff would, a lot of times I didn't have my video on. They said, why don't you have your video on? And I jokingly say, I have a bad hair day, so you don't need to sit there.
No, you're like me. It doesn't take a lot. It takes a lot to have a bad hair day. Well, you know, how do you go about educating the public about your mission and goals for education?
Events such as this, opportunities such as this. As I stated before, I do a lot of speaking at high schools, businesses, chambers, Rotary clubs. I've done so much speaking in Gwinnett and North Fulton about Gwinnett Tech, and I always take opportunities to do that. I do virtual meetings such as the WebEx. I attend chamber events. Matter of fact, I have one at 1 o'clock today with the Chairman's Club with Gwinnett Chamber at 1 o'clock today. So I go wherever I'm invited to go and speak, and I always advocate on behalf of Gwinnett Tech as far as what opportunities are out there through the technical college, because years ago technical colleges used to be looked down upon. Oh, my child doesn't want to go to technical, but now everyone is looking at, oh, wait a minute, something there. So I go and educate and promote the technical college in Gwinnett Tech as much as I can.
Well, you know, there's a lot of these young people are finding out you can go to 4 years, 6 years of college.
Yeah.
And you might come out, and it's very easy to only make $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 a year.
Yes.
But you go into a technical and learn a skill, you can come out and, for instance, with Mercedes, you can run right into a $70,000, $80,000 a year job. And
Exactly. And one other thing too, Gwinnett Tech, we pride ourselves on this. We have a 99% placement rate.
Wow.
Now that's regardless of what program you go into. We offer over 140 different programs, and we have a 99% placement rate regardless of what program you go into. Now, when you drill further down into that, specifying the programs you go into, that placement rate is about 85, 86%. That's pretty good.
Know, even your low end at 85, 86, that's just awesome.
Yes. It's because of the services that we have at Gwinnett Tech to get the students ready to be gainfully employed through career services, where we take those individuals and prepare them to do successful interviews, dress for success, work on soft skills, etc., things such as that nature. And that's all under my responsibility as well. And then we have internships and apprenticeships, which comes under the Launch Point Career Experience, which is another area of mine. And we actually go out and solicit and find internships and apprenticeships for these students so they can get a greater understanding of what it's like to work in the real world while they're still a student at Gwinnett Tech.
Well, and you get a little modest sometimes on this stuff. A lot of it, I think, has to do with the tremendous effort that you and Gwinnett Tech, the other people, put into to outreach to the businesses and making those connections and getting all of those resources to be able to partner up with them.
Yes.
So that these kids, they're looking for people, you're looking for places to put the kids, and there's synergy there, but it's not just something that finds you. You have to go out and look for it. You have to build those relationships.
You're exactly right, and you have to let people know that you're there, and you have to build those relationships, and it doesn't come overnight.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it takes a little while. You just plant the seed, nurture it, and watch it grow.
Well, luckily, with the type of stuff that you're doing, the type of kids you're putting out there, and with the degrees that they're getting, that seed can grow pretty fast.
Yes.
Because today, those businesses are growing faster than they got the people to put in them.
Yes.
And, that's something that we need to keep. And I want to just, tell anybody out there that has a business that is looking for somebody with a technical background, with a technical degree, they're working with their hands, to reach out to you.
Okay.
And Gwinnett Tech, see what y'all can do for them. If you don't have something in place that fits theirs, I know that y'all are always looking for something new that you can develop a class in that's going to fit what's coming up.
That's a good point you make, and thank you for bringing that up. And that's one of the things Dr. Cannon and the faculty on the credit side, they constantly look at as far as the demands, as far as economic, what the demands are. If there is a demand for a particular program, they will implement that program at Gwinnett Tech, but the demand has to be there.
Exactly.
And right now, the demand is advanced manufacturing. And when Dr. Canada made the announcement that he was going to move into that last year, it was received overwhelmingly by the businesses and industries, because Gwinnett Tech used to have manufacturing, and we got out of it in 2008 when the economy went south. Mm-hmm. Now that manufacturing has
coming back
on the upswing, these businesses are saying, "Oh, we need to." So Dr. Cannon made the decision, executive decisions, that we're going to move into it, and it's been a success. And as far as businesses supporting and stepping up financially, scholarship monies financially, so it's going quite well. But the pandemic kind of put a little.
It puts a damper on
it, but we're still focused on the fact that it's going to come back.
The economy is beginning to rebound, especially in those states that have chosen to, let's move on and move forward. We got it. Life goes on.
Right.
And so that is coming up, Georgia being one of them. Thank you, Mr. Kemp.
Yeah.
But with Georgia being one of them, as it increases, we're going to all get back to work, and we can start getting these kids out there and get this thing running up to full, all 8 cylinders, or 12 in this case, I hope. But, there's so much going on, and you've got so much to offer at Gwinnett Tech. If somebody wants to get in touch with you or get in touch with Gwinnett Tech and learn about your programs, if they have an interest, see if those interests meet up with your programs, or perhaps they don't even know what their interest is yet and would like to look at the programs and say, that sounds pretty neat. I think I'd like to do that. Then they can maybe reach out to y'all. Who do they reach out to? How do they get in touch with you? And give me some numbers.
They can call me at 678-226-6930.
Would you repeat that, please?
678-226-6930. Or they can just Google us on the web and www.gwinnettech.org, and they'll find us there. .com, you'll find us on the web.
Is it .com or .org?
.com, I'm sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure.
I get confused.
Let's see.
You could just Google Gwinnett Tech, and it'll come up.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
I know that there's so much going on there.
And all of the programs, everything is right there on the website. Yeah.
I've been into your website, and it is quite in depth.
Yes.
You get lost in that thing almost because it's like a candy store. You go in there and say, "Wow, man, look at all this stuff they got." But there's you. There's in with the stuff on the Georgia Gwinnett side, we have so many wonderful colleges and universities here in Gwinnett County that it's just the selection is awesome. But when it comes to the technical services, the technical side of it, my honest opinion, it gets no better than Gwinnett Tech.
Yeah.
And that's not just what they teach; it's the faculty and the staff.
Right.
That are awesome.
I'm a little biased, and Dr. Cannon proudly says this, and
says you better be.
Yeah. Gwinnett Tech is the flagship of the technical college system of Georgia.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it does a tremendous job, and
it's out front in so many ways.
With everything we do through continuing education, my area, and the credit side, on the credit side of school, we run. With everything we do, we run over 21,000 through that campus.
Wow.
Every year.
That's a lot of kids.
Yeah.
A lot of adults.
A lot of adults coming through because we have...
There's a lot of people that are in their 30s and 40s and older that come in there.
Exactly. Matter of fact, I was going to make the point that we service with the daycare on site there. We go from age 6. We service from age 6 to 80. At Gwinnett Tech.
I want to know what you're teaching these 6-year-olds. I'm just kidding. Well, Melvin, I appreciate it so much for you being here.
Oh, thank you, sir.
It's always a pleasure to have you on, and I hope you come back before too long and tell us what new is going on at Gwinnett Tech.
Yeah.
And I know I can count on you always to come.
Please do. Give me a call.
Well, thank you all for joining us on Case in Point, presented by Paradigm Security Services. And remember, you can join us live every Wednesday at 11:30 in the morning, or you can listen to our show anytime you want, including this one, on Business RadioX.com, clicking on Gwinnett Studio, and then click on Case in Point. And you can also, please go on and friend us or whatever it's called on all these podcast sites that you can listen to, iTunes, YouTube. There's just any of them that are out there that you possibly listen to this on. They're there. We'd love for you to have in there and go in and recognize us. We would appreciate it. But join us next week at 11:30 when we'll talk to business leaders about their businesses and related security issues in today's world. Thanks again to my guest, Melvin Everson.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure. And for the producers, Mike and JJ and Amanda back there, I'm Rick Strawn. And remember, at Paradigm Security Services, we cover more than just your assets.